I'll tell you how high. NBC Palm Springs at 11 with Kaylin Kelly begins now.
Now, connecting the valley, this is NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Caitlin Kelly. A fire has broken out in Indio tonight. That is our top story. What you're seeing on your screen is a viewer video of the structure fire at what appears to be the home and venue known as Desert Ridge Estate, located behind Shadow Hills High School. The fire was reported around 7:43 p.m. in the 79,000 block of Avenue 40. Firefighters arrived to find heavy smoke and flames, and a third alarm was requested to bring additional crews to the scene. Officials have not released any information yet on injuries or the cause of the fire. We'll update you, of course, as more information becomes available. And the Coachella Valley Unified School District's Board of Education approved a resolution last night that clears the way for dozens of teacher and staff layoffs, but not before families and staff express their concerns about how it'll impact students and their families. Arlandra Campos breaks down the details.
I have sites calling, crying that they cannot do the work anymore because they're so understaffed. You guys gotta understand the impact.
Emotions ran high during Wednesday night's special board meeting at the Coachella Valley Unified School District headquarters as families and employees lined up to address the board's resolution to approve layoffs. Resolution number 2026-32 identifies up to 41 full-time certificated non-management positions that could be eliminated. However, the largest impact would come from cutting 30 multiple subject teaching positions, which typically serve elementary classrooms. The district also identified 3 management positions for reduction, including coordinators for college and career, early learners, and migrant programs. After dozens of public comments, the resolution moved forward with all but one trustee voting in favor. For many employees at the special meeting, this move left them with uncertainty.
Since Thanksgiving break, I have been homeless. I've been living in motels in my car and occasionally relying on friends for a temporary place to stay because your decisions forced me to choose between a 60% pay cut or losing my job entirely.
Stability matters. It matters to teachers deciding whether to build a career here. It matters to families whether to enroll or stay.
While parents say the impact could also be felt inside the classroom.
If you have to get out of the hole that you're already in, cut what's needed, and move on. We shouldn't be having to suffer.
The district's financial crisis over recent years has also caught the eye of local lawmakers. Back in 2025, Assemblyman Jeff Gonzalez was denied a request of a full-scale audit of CVUSD's financial management. Upon hearing the district's approval to move forward with the layoffs, Gonzalez released this statement. Our educators should not be the ones forced to suffer the consequences of poor financial management. The families of the Eastern Coachella Valley deserve accountability, transparency, and leadership that puts students first. The layoffs come on the heels of the district's $25.4 million budget stabilization plan for the next 3 years, in which $9 million will be cut from the 2026-2027 school year and $8 million will be cut for each of the following 2 school years. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
The Palm Springs Police Department's real-time intelligence hub is seeing impressive results with that new data that has come in. The department says the state-of-the-art hub has already responded to over 400 incidents since it launched in early December. Officers attribute the success to quick drone deployment, adding aerial intelligence to officers in the field and those who work in intelligence center during active calls. In addition to the incidents reported, Palm Springs Police Department says they have been first on the scene 85% of the time, with over 20 arrests facilitated and a 221% spike in operations. That includes stolen vehicle incidents, missing persons, weapons recovery, and emergency response support. 2 suspects are under arrest following a construction site burglary in Rancho Mirage. The Riverside County Sheriff's Office says it happened February 24th at a business off Frank Sinatra Drive. Investigators say the suspects broke into a construction storage container and stole electrical and building materials. 2 suspects were identified and arrested March 5th during coordinated operations in Riverside and Paris involving multiple sheriff units, including canine and aviation. Search warrants later led to the recovery of the stolen property. Both suspects were booked at the John Benoit Detention Center in Indio on multiple charges, including burglary, grand theft, and possession of stolen property. Take a quick break from the headlines and take a live look outside from our Agua Caliente casino camera. Meanwhile, Pablo Alsina is standing by in the Weather Center with your 3-day forecast.
Gorgeous day today. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. And yes, once again, it's Friday, and I'm in love with the temperatures we saw today, but I hate the temperatures you're going to see next week. Currently 62 degrees in Palm Springs, low humidity, 18%. Zero precipitation, no chance of rain if you're going to go to see some tennis tomorrow. By the way, I'll be there. If you see me, say what's up. Temperatures around 62 degrees in Palm Springs, 60 in Desert Hot Springs, so it hasn't cooled off that much. The wind's kind of calm right now, 10 miles an hour in Palm Springs. They're going to pick up a lot in Whitewater on Sunday, more than 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. But our 3-day comfort air forecast, look at this, 80 Saturday, then on Sunday heating up to 90, back down to 80. But I have some bad news, near 100 degrees next week, but I'll tell you more about that in my 7-day forecast. So again, go out tomorrow, it's going to be perfect, gorgeous, 80 degrees, but it's going to get hot next week. Back over to Caitlin.
Thank you, Pablo. Now, Cathedral City is celebrating a milestone weekend as the 10th annual LGBT Plus Days gets underway. Festivities kicked off today at City Hall with an opening ceremony and the raising of the Pride flag by Mayor Raymond Gregory and members of the City Council. You just saw him on your TV right now. Pablo Alsina, he was live at the event as the community gathered to celebrate pride, unity, and visibility. The program was also emceed by our very own sports director, Tim O'Brien, and featured remarks from local leaders and advocates. The celebration continues throughout the weekend with events across the city, including the inaugural Community Strong Walk, benefiting the Human Rights Campaign, followed by a festival with food, drinks, artisan vendors, and live entertainment. The Palm Desert Food and Wine Festival is another festival, and it is just around the corner. Beginning this month, world-renowned chefs will be presenting their exclusive culinary creativity with 3 grand tastings. Attendees will enjoy cooking demonstrations, meet the chefs, and enjoy wine and flavorful bites from the over 100 local restaurants, wineries, breweries, distilleries, and gourmet vendors. We spoke to staff with Wally's Desert Turtle about being part of the big event.
We love Palm Desert Food and Wine. It's so great for the community, brings so many people into town, really highlights, the local restaurants and what the chefs are doing around town, and just brings the community together. So we're honored to be a part of it.
The event is presented by Agua Caliente Casino, and it will run from March 19th until March 22nd. This Women's History Month, we're learning more about the former First Lady who broke barriers by sharing her own struggles and helped build a recovery center that's still changing lives decades later. Our Kai Beach has the story.
She really flipped the switch to say recovery is possible. She really gave hope and healing.
The Betty Ford Center has a long history of helping people overcome addiction.
I'm Betty Ford, and I'm a recovering alcoholic.
And during Women's History Month, staff are honoring the woman who helped pioneer addiction treatment in our desert and across the country.
When you think of Mrs. Ford and her legacy and really coming out and destigmatizing, not just for individuals with substance use disorder, but specifically women.
Vice President Heidi Wallace says former First Lady Betty Ford broke barriers when she publicly shared her struggle with alcoholism and helped launch this facility more than 4 decades ago.
Who would ever want to be an alcoholic, let alone be a grateful alcoholic?
She not only was a woman that came out about addiction and her own disease, she just did things before anybody else did. She also was really behind equal rights for women.
Since that groundbreaking moment, this center has grown into an internationally recognized leader in recovery care. Now, as it continues helping people overcome addiction, leaders say they're also looking to expand services while honoring the woman who started it all.
As a female and a woman, I'm very proud to be here working at the Betty Ford Center and part of her legacy. And that still lives on through her spirit here. She's very present and alive and everywhere throughout this campus.
I'm Kai Beach with NBC Palm Springs.
Coming up next on NBC Palm Springs at 11, we have coverage of the BNP Paribas Open, today's matches, and the Letters for Greatness initiative. We have all of that ahead. Plus, Daylight savings is coming up. We'll hear from a medical professional about what you can do to prepare.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Welcome back. A sold-out crowd packed the historic Plaza Theater this week for the Adopt the Arts Sound and Vision Awards. The event honored Paul Rogers and Geezer Butler for their impact on rock music and support of young artists. Over $350,000 were raised to help support music programs in public elementary schools. Rock Hall drummer Matt Sorum, founder of Adopt the Arts, led an all-star lineup that included performances from Corey Taylor, Lizzie Hale, and Glenn Hughes. The night also featured a surprise video message from Ringo Starr. And it's almost time to spring forward. A reminder that daylight savings starts this weekend. That means you'll need to set that nightstand alarm clock ahead by 1 hour this Sunday, March 8th at 2 a.m. Or you can just watch your smartphone jump an hour ahead at that time. The annual change aims to make better use of daylight and save energy. We spoke to a medical expert for the potential impacts of the time change and steps you can take to make sure you're prepared.
People sometimes will have more accidents, right? Because they're tired, they get fatigued. Sometimes we even do see that it stresses the body. So we can see even small increase in risks for things like heart attacks and strokes. I do recommend starting to shift bedtime by about 15 to 20 minutes each day. That way, by the time daylight savings happens, your body's already used to the change. Getting good sunlight exposure first thing in the morning, incredibly helpful. That also helps our bodies to make an adjustment to that time difference.
Daylight saving time will end Sunday, November 1st, when clocks will fall back 1 hour. Riverside County animal shelters are urgently asking for assistance following a rescue of over 60 small dogs from a house fire near Hemet. The dozens of dogs were taken to the San Jacinto Valley Animal Campus, which is now operating at more than 270% capacity with over 400 animals on site. Shelter teams and veterinarians provided medical care and prepared space for emergency intake after the rescue. Shelter officials say the community can help by adopting, donating, or sharing information about the animals in need of homes. Adoptions are currently free, and it includes spay or neuter services, vaccinations, and microchips. And the conflict around Iran has raised global prices for both oil and gasoline. In an effort to get oil tankers and other ships in the Persian Gulf moving, the Trump administration has announced it will provide $20 billion in reinsurance to shippers in the area. Since the U.S. and Israel struck Iran last weekend, several private maritime insurers have yanked coverage for shipping companies for war-related damage in the Gulf. Because of that, the flow of oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz has virtually come to a stop. President Trump promised to provide government-backed insurance along with naval escorts to get oil tankers moving again. All right, we're taking a live look from our Agua Caliente casino camera in Palm Springs. Your full forecast with Pablo Osina is coming up next.
I'm Pablo Alsina. Happy Friday, and tomorrow I'll be seeing some tennis. The weather's going to be gorgeous tomorrow. Look at the Walter Clark Cam live shot. You'll notice not much wind at all, and the temperatures cooling off, but not that much. But for tomorrow, look at this, between 75 and 79. A little clouds in the sky, so perfect to go outside, see some tennis, or go get your exercise on. Please move the body. It's so important. Strong gusty winds, though, in some parts, but it'll be nice, mild, and dry. Today, look at this. For the first time in all of March, we were actually lower than the normal temperatures with a high of 74, normally at 77. Every single day in March had been around 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Today, actually below normal, and we were still the hottest. And oh, we weren't the hottest in the Southwest. Look at this, La La Land, hotter than us at 75. That doesn't happen often. High temperatures you saw, again, 75 in Palm Desert, the hottest in the area. Palm Springs just 74. Joshua Tree with a high of just 57 degrees. The low temperatures tonight, again, not that cold, just below 60 degrees. So go outside, look at the stars. The moon no longer full, but it still looks nice. Very few clouds, so the stars are shining. Cabazon with a low of 50. Up in Big Bear City, they are chilling, literally 23 degrees. On our 7-day Comfort Air forecast, Saturday gorgeous 90, the little roller coaster up to 90 on Sunday. Then Monday back down to 80, but here comes the bad news. Look away. Oh no, 99 next Friday in March. That can be, but it's Friday, so you still get the Pablo Spin. I'm Pablo Alcina, at Pablo Alcina on Instagram. Keep it here on NBC Palm Springs, and always smile.
NBC Palm Springs Sports, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Well, welcome back. It was another jam-packed and star-studded day at Indian Wells at the BNP Paribas Open today. And thanks to our friends at the Tennis Channel, we have a look at all of today's highlights.
The stars come out to play at Indian Wells. Coco Gauff fought her way into the third round. The American was 5-2 down in the second set against Kamila Rakimova before closing out the victory in the tiebreak after just under 2 hours on court. The victory was her second over the 24-year-old this year. Coco is now a perfect 6-0 in opening round matches at Indian Wells.
It was a tough match. I feel like every time I play her, the score never shows how tough of a player she is. And yeah, it's really hard with the conditions. She makes you play a lot of balls, a lot of uncomfortable shots. Yeah, I think this is our third time playing, and it's never easy.
Jannik Sinner enjoyed a good day at the office as he took care of business against Czechia's Dalibor Svečina. After coasting to the opening set 6-1, the three-time major champion put on a clinic in the second, to the delight of the fans on Stadium 1. Sinner's looking for his first title in the desert after reaching the semis in 2023 and 2024. And the fifth major said an emotional goodbye to the ever-popular Gael Monfils after his defeat to Felix Auger-Aliassime. Monfils will retire from tennis at the end of the season. Tournament director Tommy Haas was courtside to honor the Frenchman. And don't forget, you can watch all the action live daily and head on over to tennischannel.com to download the app.
Well, the Indian Wells Open is the home for current and future Hall of Famers. You saw it just there. And tonight, our Brett Rosen takes a deep dive on how fans are showing their appreciation for some of the most historic tennis players and figures. Take a look.
If you could speak to one of the best tennis players ever to touch a racket in Roger Federer, or one of the most iconic Tennis Channel broadcasters, Mary Carrillo, what would you say? Well, as both are entering in the International Tennis Hall of Fame this summer, fans at the BNP Paribas Open had the unique experience to leave a video message for both icons, called Letters for Greatness.
So right here, this is where fans can leave their video.
Yeah, this is where fans can come into the booth.
International Tennis Hall of Fame President Patrick McEnroe says the point of Letters to Greatness is to give fans a new experience, even having those who participate in the video letters contribute to the Hall of Fame ceremony.
This is a way for fans to get involved, to show their thanks, to do a video, to do a letter. We end up showing a few of the best at the actual induction in Newport later this summer.
And it's not just a fan appreciation booth either. Letters to Greatness also bringing in different fan experiences, like having a photo booth, and also some of the best memorabilia from both Roger Federer and Mary Carrillo.
Again, fans can come over here and give their own personal letters to the new Hall of Fame inductees, either by going into this booth and sending a video recording, or by walking over here, picking up a pen, and writing your own personal note.
It's just a really nice way to communicate with them because, you may never meet these people. So, it's a way to have gratitude and thank them for all that they've contributed to the sport.
He's been one of our family favorites since forever. And so to be able to feel like I'm talking to him rather than pick up the phone and get his phone number, that is an awesome thing to do. I really love that.
That was our Brett Rosen reporting. Now, we have teamed up with the Tennis Channel to bring you all of the BNP Paribas Open highlights throughout the competition. So if you'd like to watch their full coverage of the event, here's the channel guide. You can see it right there on your screen. We'll be right back.
It's about to heat up.
Watch the BNP Paribas Open. All courts, all matches, live and full replays. Live now through March 15th on Tennis Channel and the Tennis Channel app.
All right, before our entertainment report, I just have to ask, did you hear that? The sound of jet engines rattled Palm Springs this afternoon. Valley residents telling NBC Palm Springs they saw multiple military jets passing through, some saying they flew low and close to houses, even shaking the walls. But don't worry, NBC Palm Springs, we are on the case. We've reached out to the Palm Springs International Airport to see if the jets touched down at PSP or if they have any information and are still, and I'll tell you right now, we're still waiting for a response. This is one of a handful of reported jet sightings throughout this past month.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Fans of Barbra Streisand are in luck. According to multiple sources, the legendary singer and actress is in talks to perform at the Oscars. Streisand hasn't sung at the Oscars since 2013. She's reportedly in conversations to honor the late Robert Redford, her friend and co-star from The Way We Were. Whether Streisand would sing solo as well as other details are still being worked out. Now, with video game news from Hollywood, here is Rick Damigella with our Game On segment.
A new Pokemon game appears. This is Pokemon Pokopia. The new adventure marks a change in direction for the globally popular franchise as it veers away from battling mechanics to the cozy game genre. The game is out now for Nintendo Switch 2.
My people have been driven into a corner, and the point of no return is looming before us.
But if you do want monster battles, very large ones, there is Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. The latest adventure in the franchise arrives on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch 2 March 13th. It's another potential epic of epic epicness. Scott Pilgrim EX pits the plucky hero against a new wave of enemies as he battles across Toronto to save his bandmates. The game is out now for PC, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox consoles. Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, Pablo, it's time to get your spoon and bowl ready because tomorrow is National Cereal Day. Now, not only is cereal eaten for breakfast, but it has become a popular bedtime snack. Throughout time, bakers turn to cereal in their recipes, including cake, cookies, bar recipes, and the most popular one is, of course, Rice Krispie bar treats. Do you have a favorite cereal, Pablo?
I love chocolate everything, so Cocoa Krispies, Cocoa Puffs. I'm a chocolate cereal guy. And at night, boom, big bowl.
Oh, nothing better. See, I'm
Right?
a Cookie Crisp type of girl. We'll see you tomorrow.